Well, happy Wednesday. Today I want to talk to you about developing a church planting strategy, a global church planting strategy for your church or for your organization. And this concept really comes from the outline that we see in Acts chapter 1, verse 8. But you shall be my witnesses in Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth. I've just drawn a little diagram of what this looks like as a church planting strategy. And, certainly every church should have a local church planting strategy. This would be planting churches for people who are like you in your area, people that are similar to you in makeup, in size, in shape, in your community. And that's extending the local church within your own culture to people that are in your local area, in your city, in your county, in your small town. And we all need to have this kind of a strategy because if we live in North America, for example, in the United States, for example, about half of all people in any given county are not affiliated with any kind of congregation. And so there's plenty of room everywhere to plant new churches. The second would be a kind of a regional strategy, or this is the Judea level, right? These are people that are very much like us, but they don't live next to us. And so this would be being a part of a regional church planting strategy. Say you live in one part of the state and you're helping to plant churches in the other part of the state or the other part of your region. And these are people that are very culturally similar. Judea and Jerusalem had the same kind of culture, but they were geographically further apart from one another. The third part of the strategy is cross-cultural, Samaria. They were fairly nearby. Samaritans were very nearby. Samaria was a fairly local place, but it had a radically different culture. It had a different religion. It had a different kind of geography. And so this would be like planting in a completely different group of people, even within the United States or within your region, or sometimes even locally, where you're crossing a cultural boundary with the gospel and with the church. And then the final part of the strategy is to the ends of the earth. This is really giving money, resources, and people and time to plant churches throughout the whole globe, in every culture, every tribe, tongue, people, and nation coming to know Jesus. And this is often where we may even begin with a church planting strategy for your church. Sometimes it's really hard to plant locally because you're kind of worried about the impact of the new church on your own church. And so maybe starting further out and then beginning to work back in is often a good strategy. I know I've served churches that started farther away. They saw that church planting and the systems and the dynamics of church planting were good and that they helped their church and that people came to Christ. And then they became convinced that they should plant more locally. And so that's just a summary, a quick way to think about an Acts 1:8 global strategy for church planting.